Good afternoon, everyone. We are together today, Thursday, June 6th, to do today's reading by me, Little Red Witch. So I have already chosen the cards. This way I'm not having you waste time to watch me pull them. And now we're going to see what we have for today. Alrighty. At least this spread doesn't have almost all the cards reversed. And the ones that I see reversed, most of them should be reversed. Some of them are going to have to reverse. Okay, so today's spread starts with the Fool. And what the Fool is saying is you need to be true to yourself in the path you're walking down, the path you're thinking down, the path your words flow from. It's about you. And when you look at this picture, she looks almost like a crazy teenager, dancing maybe, got some pictures around her. She's wearing some pretty snazzy clothes there. There's a light there. And she's sort of up on a hill. She's got her almost like a jester outfit on. But then if you see, her face is sort of almost being covered with her hair or hat, both maybe. So she's really not watching like how she is moving around her. And what this is referring to is that's the first deck, the first card of the deck. And it's the number 0. This is where life begins. When you are born, there are no rules. There are no stipulations. There are no feelings of what do I need to do because this is what's expected of me. I need to act this way, or I need to think that way because it's expected of me. That doesn't even exist when we're born and we grow into our toddler stage. That doesn't even exist. We're pure, we're innocent, and we're super happy, and we're just going with whatever comes our way, whatever we're thinking. And we should have grown up that way. But we didn't. We grew up being disciplined, being fearful. We grew up with rules. We grew up with having to always perform it as to what's expected of us. So this card is a reminder that it doesn't matter how old we are, there's a little person inside you. A little person meaning that little toddler that you were once, your soul continues to stay with that innocence. You know, that it doesn't judge, it doesn't have all these stipulations and regulations and rules and discipline actions coming at them. Our soul is just like we are when we were born, and it's our ego that feeds us, which is usually not okay, and our intuition should be guiding us, but most people don't listen to that. So this begins the spread with Find that little person inside you. Find your youth. Go back in time and remember your happy times. Remember those good times. Maybe there's not many for some, but there is something there that put a smile on your face, that made you happy. Find that person, find that feeling again. And you might have, as an adult now, you might have some decisions to make. This is also a symbol of taking the leap of faith. You don't know what's below, but it doesn't mean that you're going to fall and die. You need to know that when you jump, you're going to land on your feet. It's not, oh, I hope so. It's not maybe. No, I am. That's the purity of what you need to find again. Because when a little kid does something, they're not wondering like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because this could be the outcome, or no. They just go for it without realizing, because they believe in it. And I'm not saying, to go jump out of a 6-foot building realistically and tell yourself you're going to land on your feet and it's going to be okay. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's a leap of faith. Whatever you're wanting to jump at, go for. Maybe you're thinking about it too much. So let's move on here. 5 of Swords is our next card. 5 of Swords is showing me that you're speaking up. And you're not too thrilled about it, because speaking up, you're being truthful, you're saying what needs to be said. And there's going to be people around you that hear you, and they're not going to like it, and they're going to walk away from you. And you need to let those people go. You need to allow them to walk on and go ahead. And you also need to realize that the people who don't want to hear what you have to say, they are not people that are worth your time, your energy. But you also need to make sure you stay balanced here. Don't express yourself to the point where you are over your head and you think you're the shit, and you're just like telling everyone like it is, and you sort of lose control. Don't go about that. Don't go that way. Be truthful, but have a balance. And realize that no matter what you say, not everyone's going to like it. But it's time to start speaking, because you've been holding in a lot of things and eating a lot of crap to make the things around you go smoothly. Now it's time to stop. Remember the Fool. And it doesn't mean you're acting a fool. It means that you're acting true to yourself. And true to yourself is making sure that you speak the truth without lying to yourself. But you're speaking truth to others, and if they don't like it, well, that's their problem, really, not yours. The next card is Judgment. And unfortunately, we're always dealing with judgment. And the majority of the time, the worst judgment we're dealing with is the judgment from ourselves. We are our worst enemies most of the time. We judge almost everything about ourselves. We judge the way we do things. We judge the way we look. We judge the way we speak. We judge the way, the things we have. Because we're judging ourselves all the time, because we're constantly comparing ourselves to something or someone. And again, you need to go back to being that innocent little person who didn't worry about these things. There was no judgment, because you were being true to yourself. And if nobody liked it, that was on them. If you're looked at and you're a weirdo and you're strange, and well, I'd say that's a compliment, because you're not being like everyone else. The next card is the 3 of Hearts, showing it's reversed, and this is showing me that you have been through some recent pain. that has affected your heart emotionally. And if it's been that bad emotionally to the point where you've tried to hold it in, then I won't be surprised if you're also dealing with physical ailments because of this. But right now, it looks like you put your foot down and you're in the process of healing. Um, this looks like, well, usually this card shows that when someone has hurt you, it's like a three-person um, involvement. Sometimes this is, you know, a husband, wife, and another person, like a triangle kind of thing, an affair, someone cheating. This could be three people that you work with, one of them being you, where you guys are all going at each other. This could be in your own family, where there's three people that are, going head to head. Words are being tossed, ugly things are being said, and it's been nothing but pain. And the reason it's been pain is because whatever is involved with the situation, it's someone that you love. But you're in the process of healing now. This is I think our second time we get this card. This is our Five of Pentacles. Again, it's upside down. Again, it's showing me that you're taking steps here. You're taking steps. You're not sitting outside anymore, waiting for someone to take your hand and guide you, waiting for someone to tell you what to do or where to go or how to do it. You've taken that action on yourself, and so you've entered through that door, and that door has greatness waiting for you. Sometimes there's that saying, the other side is not always greener, and that is true. However, this card does not reflect that. When you go through this door, there's greatness waiting for you. It's just you standing up on your own. Again, we're going to go with the Fool. Being true to yourself. Not worrying about, how you're going to do it. Because when we're waiting for someone to be our guidance, when we're waiting for someone to hold our hand or give us direction, or it's because we're not trusting ourselves that we can do it. And we're not trusting ourselves because we think that if we do it the way we're thinking, it might not be right. It might not look right. It might not feel right. What is everyone going to say if I do it? That's the whole problem. And there's where this judgment's coming in. Your next card is Strength. And it's reversed, which is showing that the situation that you're going with, you need more strength. You need to believe in yourself more. You are taking action here, but you're sort of dipping your toes in the water, and it feels super cold, and you pull out, but you know that you got to go in order to receive that wonderful feeling of water. We go back to this Fool here. Be true to yourself. Find that young person that wasn't afraid, that took chances no matter what the outcome could be, and believed in yourself so strongly that there was no worry. You're not gonna hold back anymore. There's people around you that need to be told the truth. Whether it's, I don't appreciate you acting like this with me. I don't appreciate you speaking to me this way. I don't appreciate you, what you just said, or whatever, whatever that truth is. Right now, you hurt my feelings by doing this, or say, you just got to speak the truth. No, I don't agree with what you just discussed. This is how I feel. And it, doesn't mean you're wrong, but whatever these people around it need to hear, you need to start speaking. And there's going to be a whole lot of people that walk away, but know this, as you're spiritually growing, until your last breath, there should be people walking away, because the people who don't walk away are equal to you. They are the same spiritual beings that want to walk that same kind of path themselves. But when there's people that are like, They think they're too good, they're defensive, they don't want to hear what you have to say, and you don't know what you're talking about. With those people, then they need to walk away because they're really the ones with the problem. So you are healing. You've taken that leap of faith and walked through that door. Now you need to walk through that door and confront whoever needs confrontation. Doesn't mean you need to be mean. It can be done civilly and nicely. You need to not worry about what they're going to feel, what they're going to think. Am I sounding like an idiot? You need to stop all that. And this is where you need to bring your strength in. Bring your strength back into yourself. When you were little, you were so strong in everything, in the actions you've taken and the thoughts, because there was no doubt. There was no thinking that you were being weak. People broke you down to become weak, and so this needs to be brought back up. So we got a Lover's card again, and which is telling me that the situation that we're dealing with here is dealing with someone you're extremely close to. Is it your wife? Is it your husband? Is it your parents? Is it a sibling? Is it a coworker? Is it a best friend? Is it your family beyond? I mean, it's someone that you're very close to, and you love them very much. But there's too much their way going on, and there's too much judgment. Like there's so much being done upon you in a mental kind of way that there's judgment, and probably the most biggest judgment is coming from you because you don't want to go against these people. You don't want to escalate a bigger fight maybe, but you have to be the one that stops this, because this is never going to go away until that confrontation. And confrontation is usually not a nice feeling, but it's truth coming out, and it needs to be discussed. And if the person doesn't want to hear it and they walk away from you, but they're still in the vicinity of hearing, you can just speak wherever you're at. Whether, they might say, I'm not listening, they'll still listen to you, even though they're not right there. But if they leave completely and walk away because they're mad and then they need to come back, if they walk away, let them. And if they come back because now they want to discuss it with you, that's great. Now go ahead and release and say whatever needs to be said. But if they walk away never to return, then that was their problem. That's someone you don't need in your life. That's someone who's been actually running you. So that's not something you need anymore. We have another page. Well, not another. We don't have a page here. But today we got a page of wands. I think yesterday we had a page of swords. So page of wands is a person who, a page represents that little person you. So like after the Fool, when you become a little older, you're in that page zone. And this little person of you, you used to have a lot of dreams. You had a lot of dreams, a lot of visions, a lot of things that you wanted to accomplish, you wanted to do, you wanted to go, and you're not where you want to be. But you have a nagging feeling inside you that something's got to change. You know it, but you just don't know how you're going to take that action. You've already walked through that door. Whatever has gone on, you're healing. Your heart is healing now. So now we need to realize that whatever it is, stop worrying about what everyone's going to think. Stop worrying what you look like, how do I sound, because that's what's holding you back. That's what's holding that little person in there. And the last card of the spread is death. Again, we have death. But, I mean, this is upside down again. which is showing that this situation has been ongoing and it's got to stop. And you've been making changes, but you can't just make a couple of changes and then feel like, okay, I did this, so let me just sit back and I'll see, where it goes from here, and I'll wait a while. No, you have to keep moving forward. Now, let's see what we do with this spread to move completely in 100% forward motion with our thoughts and our actions. This card, this is your innocence. This is your purity. This is go out there and do things like you don't even know what fear means. Go out there and do things knowing that the outcome is always the best it's going to be. What else would it be? There is no bad outcome because that's how you used to think when you were young. People are going to step in the way of you. They're going to tell you like you're acting like they're going to tell you you are being foolish. You're acting like a fool. You can't do that because this is going to be the outcome. Don't do that because it's probably going to be this. This is what we've grown with. It's got to stop. You need to do what you need to do. And whoever's going to try to stop you, that's their fear. That's their insecurity. Or that's their jealousy. Their envy, because whatever you're going forward on, they're trying to stop you for their own reasoning. Now, I am not telling you to go ahead and do something insane. It's like go drag racing down and know that you're going to be that winner, or try and cross a track as the train's coming to see if you can beat it, and let's jump off a building and see if I can land on my. I am not telling you anything like that. So do not go insanely stupid. Of course, I would hope other people are going to come around you and tell you, like, no. Not only tell you no, they're going to stop you. So do not get this mixed up in any way. I am simply telling you to have that leap of faith for, let's say, there's a new job out there, and you're used to this job. You've been here, 20 freaking years, but you are bored, you're not making the money you want, but it's really comfortable. So starting a new job, you'd have to start from the bottom and work your way up, and that is terrifying. But if the pros outweigh the cons of not taking it, well, that's a leap of faith that you should just go into it knowing that the outcome is going to be all that you deserve and will get. That's the kind of leap of faith I'm talking about. This is going to turn around. We need to stop the judgment. We have so much judgment in this world. We don't need to do it ourselves. And if you are judging yourself, well, start writing everything down that you're judging, and then dissect it. Why are you judging this? Where did that come from? Is it your judgment, or was it instilled upon you from when you were younger and you just made everything about like that? Realize that most of the stuff that we do is because it's been instilled in us since we were young, from our caretakers, from jobs. Everyone is, we live by rules, and we live by people who know things from the experience, who pass those experiences down, and it keeps going on and on. It doesn't mean that all those experiences are the right way. You need to follow your internal flame to know what's the right way. You're healing from a painful situation, but you've taken a step. Like you've walked through that door because you don't want this anymore. But now that you've taken this step, you're also terrified. And you've sort of frozen. So there's your weakness coming through. Now the strength that it took for you to make this move, you need to grab that strength back. This card turns around now. and you become as strong. You know, there's a saying my mom said over and over, and I'll never forget it, and I always think of her, but she used to always say, I am woman, hear me roar. And there's so much power in those words. And that's what this means. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing stopping you but you. So stop stopping yourself. You've already made the move to walk through that door. Now start saying what you need to say. Get rid of people that just don't serve you anymore, that are just bringing you down or trying to keep you in your broken place. And if they judge, who cares what other people think? But don't judge yourself. The situation that you're dealing with involves yourself and people that you love. That's a given here. But you are healing from it. You have a lot of dreams going on here. We need these dreams to come through. So we need this card. We need this card to turn around. Because what is happening here is the last couple of days here have shown that you are making some changes, right? But they're really minute changes because you make them and then you just sort of feel scared about them, don't know if you should continue going about them, and you sort of freeze, or you sit on it because let me think about this. So this is the card here, Death, is showing that this is the second time you got this card up reversed, which you are making that change. You've taken those steps. Now, do what it takes to make things better for you. If people feel you're a fool, just think of the fool and like, yeah, I'm going to act a fool. And when I say I'm going to act a fool, doesn't mean you're going to go and start mouthing off and acting all crazy with people because, you're the shit and listen to me. And I'm not saying that. Don't go on a power surge here. But I'm saying confronting people might be a leap of faith for you because you're not used to doing that. You've just kept things to yourself. I personally had a very hard time confronting people I love. If I don't give a crap about you, I don't like you, I don't have a problem confronting you. There's no feelings connected. But when I love you, now I'm concerned about hurting your feelings. And then I don't want to confront you. I'm also concerned about, having a fight start. So I don't want to have a confrontation because I just want things to stay smooth. But then what's happening is I'm living lies. I'm living lies, and I'm also harboring these thoughts or feelings inside me, and they start to build to the point where I can't even, I feel like I'm going to explode. But I don't, I'm so adamant on not telling who I need to speak to. That I need to, I need to let it out. That's my personality. I'm not, I always got to talk things out. The problem is if I love you, I don't usually talk it out with you. And there's where I'm wrong. And so I've had to really learn how to say what I need to say to the person that needs to hear it, no matter what the outcome is. And that was super scary for me, and that was my leap of faith. So that's an example of what a leap of faith could be. And you are facing confrontation, and you need to let people know what they need to know. You need to stop the judgment. Stop the judgment. If there's going to be people who judge us around us and we can't control them, but whatever negativity is coming from them, that's on them. That's not your problem. But what your problem is the judgment you're doing to yourself. And strength. Stop judging yourself and start believing in yourself to feed water. Start drinking water and realize that every time you're drinking water, you're watering the seed of strength in you. And every time you drink, that seed gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's not like a plant that you got to wait maybe a couple weeks. No, every single sip of water is strength. And strength is going to be flowing out of you, and it should always flow out of you. So that, you guys, is today's reading. And this is, our journey is not, it's not an easy journey that we live on, or we live in. Each journey out there, everyone's got their own stories, and a lot of them are broken in one way or another. But it's up to us to release what has broken us, understand what has broken us, understand what has put us into this point of life that we're in, if we're not happy or we're depressed or something like that, and then start working through it, and knowing that you're in that state because you are carrying yourself in that state. Also, for those who are very sick, some illnesses are fatal, and they came upon you for reasons. And the reasoning, besides the government filling us up with some kind of shit, what we breed and eat and all that, we have cells in us that are, dormant, but suddenly all these cells are getting activated. And what's causing the activation is our stressors. And our stressors become illnesses that become diseases. So a lot of our diseases, we almost have a hand in it. We don't ask for them, of course not. But sometimes when people have heart problems, if you do a timeline and research on their life, they've had such a I don't want to say traumatizing, but such a painful, emotional life, and it affected their heart all the time. Their heart hurt, their heart was broken, whatever that is. And then all of a sudden they've got heart problems. This is just an example. Our heart is, between our lungs, that chest cavity right there. You might have lung problems. You might have, and then there's a lot of breast cancer, because people hold things in where their heart is, and your heart's right between your breast. So these are the kind of things that we're all going through one way or another, but it's up to us to help our spirit flow the way it deserves to flow, through love. This world was supposed to be built and born of love, but we have so much of the negative and hate. So we can't control the world or those around us, but we control ourselves. So it's up to us to lose that hate and work through it and find out why, so we can understand it. Because when you understand it, then you won't go back to it. You'll always know, you always have a reason of like, no, I don't need to do that. I know why that was that way. I know why I felt that way. So this is what I'm leaving you guys with. I believe in you guys. I always have. I always will. I know it's not easy. I'm not perfect. I go through my own stuff. So again, if you guys need to talk, you have questions on this, you are free to text me, messenger me, call me. However, as I said, if you call me, make sure you leave a message, because if it's a number I do not know, I will not answer. And if you leave a message, I will call you back as well as log you in, so I will know next time. My number is 773-640-7886. Also, if anyone ever needs a reading, I can do readings over the phone. I can meet you somewhere. That's no problem. And if you're interested in past life readings or connecting with loved ones who have passed on, those need to be done in person. We can set something up. So you guys have a wonderful day. It's almost Friday, and I will leave you with this. Blessed be.